Right, hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Austin 7 special build. Quite a lot to get done in this episode, so let me talk you through it. What I intend to do is get these two panels welded up. Now this is a lot sooner than I actually anticipated during the build, but the reason I want to get these two panels joined up is I think it just makes sense to get this bottom edge along here wired and also get the louvers into place. I don't want to louver the panels separately. I'd rather louver it all in one go. So that's the reason I want to get those two panels welded together. I think it just makes sense. I'm not going to weld in the skull panel as I don't want to be restricted for basically taking the panels off. This can be added at a much later date, so I'm in no rush to weld that into place. I'll get this done both sides. Obviously, that's quite a bit of work. I've been working on the front area here around the bonnet lip. I'll show you that. I've also been working on a front cowl design, bringing that to life. So I'll let you in on what I intend to do there. I've also been working on the steering wheel. Really excited about that. Filming that as a separate episode, but I will show you just a quick snippet just to whet your appetite. But that is going to involve a really good collaboration with a highly skilled woodworker, and I can't wait to basically bring this design to life with his help. So that's enough said about that. And yeah, plenty to do, so I shall crack on. If you're just wondering about the tape, that's only so when I lay it down to knock this edge over along here, it just didn't scratch the surface. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just dress it up with a hammer and dolly. I've got a little dolly there with a real shallow crown, favourite planishing hammer. I'm just going to tap down the top of the weld, flatten it off without overstretching it. I don't want to add a load of crown shape stretch to that panel there. So literally just gently tap it down and then I'll grind the excess off. Okay, so that is the weld, just slightly planished down, the penetration all the way through on the other side. So I'll grind the tops off both of them. If I just go down, you can see very little distortion in the panel. It hasn't cracked by hammering it. That's because I've used the correct rod for this process. A lot of people that get cracking are using the wrong rod. Should be pretty simple now to dress up. You can just see a little reflection. There is a slight wobble in there. Once I start dressing that up to its final stage, hopefully all that will disappear. So a little handy tip, bar of soap along the weld, and then it just helps the pad not clog up and just makes it go along over the top a lot easier. It's really good for when you're running the file over, the file doesn't dig in. So always recommend a bar of soap in the toolbox. Right, okay, what I'm going to do is just basically finish this off to about 90-95%. This won't be a finished state just yet. I don't see the benefit in doing that. I've got lots to do on this panel and a lot of dressing up, a lot of wiring. So a lot of things can happen in that process, which I may need to tweak the panel. So, and that may affect this area here. I don't know yet with all the louvers and the wired edge. So, and I've got a big weld to run through here, so there's going to be more dressing up. So again, simple hammer and dolly. I've got the slapper, so I make the slapper, and I send these all over the world. So if you're interested, I'll leave an email address in the comment in the description below. If you want one, you can order one and I'll get one sent out to you. So really simple. What I want to do is just take this area down here. So I want to hit that off dolly. If I've got the dolly here up against the metal and I'm hitting down on it, what I'm basically doing is stretching the material, and that's going to raise the material. So if you're off dolly, it just means you've got the dolly to one side and you're hitting down and you're just allowing that metal to basically push down, and I can basically lose this crown that I've got through here. So I want to hit this off dolly. Hopefully I've explained it all right. But and where it's slightly low, that's when I want to hit it on dolly. So that's pressing the dolly up against the aluminium, striking it, and then that's just going to lift that area. So here, just through here, I know it's slightly low. So when you hit it, you're going to get a high pitch ring, and that's when you know you're on dolly. Okay, it's that time of the video where I want to give a huge shout out to Danny, Trevor and Anthony. They've all gone over to the paint pot in the last video and left me a donation. So cheers for that, really appreciate that. Everything raised is going to go towards the paint job on the Austin. If anyone else would like to make a donation and support the channel, I'll leave a link in the description below. I am going to give away, once this board is full, I've got a mask, a brand new Parweld welding mask there. I've got a slapper, which is featured heavily in this video. I make them to order if anyone else would like one. I've got t-shirts and some stickers as well. So that's my way of just giving a little thank you back to you guys. So cheers for that. Right, I'm going to start doing the wide edge now, and first thing I need to do is mark around here 13 mil. So it's another little tool that I've made, just a bar with a point on it and a back plate. So literally set the gap to that, to 13 mil, and I go along, and any excess just gets marked, and I'll cut it down to that line. That way, when I wrap the wire, I know that it's going to consistently be the same all the way through, because I've got the same amount of material. What I don't want is a load of excess, and I don't want it to be under that. So if it's under the 13 mil, I'll just stretch a bit of material and bring it back up to that level, just so we get a nice wrap on the wire. Right, okay, so I have bent up the wire. The wire that I'm using is a 4mm galv wire. It's what I've always used when doing wire edges, so no reason to use any different on this job. So I've shaped it. I've epoxied the inside there just to give it an extra bit of protection, so that fits nicely in there. I'll adjust it as I go along. But what I normally do is clamp it in one place to start with, like so. Right, then I'm literally just going to get some pliers just to hold it in place. And I'm just going to push it up to the edge, knock it down flat, work my way along, and then back again, knocking it over further. And then once I'm happy, I'll be squashing it right up, so the wire is completely wrapped by the skin. It's just a traditional process. You can do this through the bead roller. If you've got the right setup on the bead roller, it's a lot quicker and does a nice job. I've just got a cheap Chinese bead roller with really poor tooling, so I don't really want to do it on there. I'd just rather do it by hand on this job. So that's what I do. Okay, so I just thought I'd share this with you. Like I said earlier in the video, this is my favourite hammer. When you do a lot of metal work, you do have favourite tools that you go to all the time, and this is kind of like my go-to hammer. The reason for that is I had it when I was 16 and an apprentice at Morgan. It was my first hammer that was gifted to me. Still the same handle, so it's not like Trigger's broom. One for the Only Fools and Horses fans there. But one of the quirks of it, if I just bring it up and hopefully it focuses, it's got a bit of a flat spot just on the side here. And that's from doing all the wire edging on the spare wheel panel and over the scuttle panel. There's lots of wire edging to do on that. That's where I learned to do this. And as a result of all the wire edging, it's done that to the hammer, and I've still got it today. And I'm using it on this car, so it's gone full circle. So yeah, just thought I'd show you that. Thought it was pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk you through the idea of this front grille aperture, what do you want to call it, nose of the car. This is an idea that I've had for a very long time. I love the style of this. I think it's very aggressive, and I think it's very fitting for the car. Now, this is a style that I've seen on many French 1930s race cars, and I like it, and I wanted to incorporate it somehow. So this is my interpretation of it to fit the bodywork that's going on. So we're transitioning from this outer shape and kind of using this profile for an example. It's going to have like a nice domed bit of shape to it all the way around down to this point, and it's going to have a nice sharp edge on it. A central headlight, whether that's mounted at the top or down low, it's all to be decided later on in the build. A number plate at the bottom, but that big open mouth like that, I think it's super aggressive for a car of this period. And like I said, I think it's just fitting for the car. I really like it. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I can picture it, and I think it's going to work. Hopefully you can kind of picture it too, but have a bit of faith, and let's see how it turns out. Yeah, it's the start of it.
Yeah, that's a nice finish.
You want to quit there?
Well, yeah, you're like quarter inch away. You want it to be.
Yeah. Let's turn it up for the camera, Tom. That is nice. Right, okay, so I did say at the beginning of the video that I would be looking at various other parts of the car. One of them being the blister that I want to put in here to create a bit of room for my foot near the accelerator. I've done various designs out of car, different shapes, different profiles, just to mix it up a little bit and give me a better idea of what I want, because I still don't know what I want. The designs that I've come up with just don't sit right with me. I've even got one made out of aluminium here, just offering that up there. I don't know, it's okay, but I know if I went with something like that, I wouldn't be 100% happy. So I'm going to put that on the back burner for the moment. I'm off to Prescott to a VSCC event, the biggest one of the year, this weekend, so I'll be taking plenty of photographs and getting inspiration there, just looking at how other people have gone about it. And then once I see something I like, I'll have another go and look at it with fresh eyes. So I'm just going to put that on the back burner for the moment. Right, okay, I think that is a good place to stop at this point of the video. Lots of progress been made, really happy with it. Like I've said in the video, this panel is probably, I don't know, 90% finished. It's still got a little wobble there, all needs to file up, all the edges need tidying up, so plenty to do. This edge is obviously going to be wired at some point, but that won't be done until this is all welded in. Big weld through here. Obviously it's going to have the blister as well, so when I go to Prescott this weekend, I can have a look. So when this video comes out, Prescott would already have been, so just so don't confuse anyone. So yeah, going to get some ideas on the blister, and like I said, that could be put in at any point. I've got to make a cutout for my foot, make the blister, and then get all that riveted on. There is options, or an option to have more louvers through here. I do like the idea of it, but I want to be really careful that I don't overdo it with all this detail. I want it to be quite slick and, you know, just flow nicely. And I don't want to clutter a nice clean panel with too many louvers, because the bonnet is going to have quite a few in there with the design that I've mocked up already. So, like I say, whilst this panel is still removable, I can add them at any point. So I've got plenty of time to think about that. The front cowl I'm not going to do until basically one of the last jobs, but I wanted to bring that idea to life just for peace of mind and basically to get an idea that it is all going to flow and I'm on the right pathway with that. So I think that brings me nicely onto the next episode, and I think that's going to be the start of the boat tail. I think that's a good place to go on to, because I can't do any of this detail around here until the steering wheel's done. So without committing to anything else, like I said, I think that's a good place to go to. That's going to be a really interesting part of the build, because that top section really dictates the whole shape of the boat tail. There's a lot of shape in it through here. You've got a large radius, and it goes to a point at the back. So a real big transition, not an easy panel to do. And I've got a lot to think about with that one. So I think that's going to be the start of the next episode. But I think that is pretty much it. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, please do. It really does help the channel. Hopefully you're enjoying the journey as much as I am. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.